Welcome to CT Expert Insights. When your business needs people it can trust, you can count on us. We dedicate ourselves to getting to know your needs and finding solutions to meet them. You'll have a team of experts backing you up.
Hi, I'm Greg Corombos. Our guest this week on Expert Insights is Gene Marks. Gene is head of the Marks Group. He's a speaker and a writer. He's been a guest of ours several times here on Expert Insights. He joins me to discuss what the road ahead looks like in 2020 for small business owners. And Gene, Happy New Year to you. Thanks as always for being with us.
Great. Thank you for having me on.
Well, on the last day of 2019, you wrote a column expecting 2020 to be an easy year for the majority of small businesses. Now, easy can obviously be misunderstood. We all still need to work hard, of course, but you're saying a lot of businesses won't be fighting just to survive as they do in other years. So explain what you mean here.
You know, Greg, there's 30 million small businesses in this country, right? So it's very, very tough. You don't never generalize about all of them. Sometimes people ask me like, so, Gene, how are small businesses doing? And, my sort of standard reply is, well, that depends on what the business is and where they're located and, what industry they happen to be in. But, for the most part, 2020 should be a pretty decent year for the majority of small businesses in this country. And I would even, suffice it to say that it's going to be somewhat of an easier year for small businesses. Now, running a business is not easy. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of hours and a lot of stress. So you got to keep that relative. But some of the biggest headaches that a lot of my clients have had over the years are not that they've gone completely away, but they are minimized a little bit more this year. The economy, for starters, is doing pretty good. I mean, it's some people would argue that it's it could be doing a lot better, and that's fair enough. But consumer confidence is still very strong. Retail sales are strong. Construction spending is strong. That impacts a lot of small businesses, and small business confidence as a result is also strong. Things dip, they go up and down a little bit, but for the most part, it's pretty good. So although we're still going to be battling and competing for sales, I think for most of us, looking into this year, we're not looking at any type of barring any unforeseen events, an economic crash or a big recession, at least for the first 6 to 9 months of this year. So that's good news. On the trade side, the president has made forward progress in resolving some of these trade deals and issues with not only North America, but of course with China. So I think that's sort of a breath of relief for a lot of businesses. We're now 2 years into tax reform. So I think now, accountants have gotten their arms around them. I think a lot of businesses themselves are seeing some payback on their taxes. They're seeing, less cost infrastructure, and that's positioning some to invest more in people and equipment and capital items as well. So all of those things are good. And I think finally in Washington, Congress and the president, they're also wrapped up in all sorts of political things now that it's an election year, impeachment and foreign policy issues and whatnot, that I don't see any significant bills or legislation coming out that is going to have an impact on businesses, positive or negative.
So one way or the other, you've got some certainty.
Yeah, you've got some certainty. That's exactly right. I'm not saying that's good, because there's a lot of stuff that Washington could be doing to make our lives better, but I just don't think there's going to be a whole lot of that going on this year. And I think that reduces the uncertainty, like you said, and I just think it makes it easier for businesses to make some decisions. But there are two big issues looming for small businesses this year. Number one is going to continue to be finding people. As we're recording this now, the most recent job numbers came out, and the unemployment rate is still like a 50-year low. Every company I talk to are struggling to not only find people, but to pay them without going broke themselves. We're seeing minimum wages go up in a lot of places this year. New overtime regulations are increasing wages. So there's definitely some compensation and people issues that we're going to be challenged with this year to stay nimble. And then the other sort of just big thing that you have to be wary of will be the election in November. Like him or not, and there's good reasons to like him or not like him, if President Trump does win re-election, one of the things that you can be certain of is that it will continue to be a very pro-business environment in Washington with minimal regulations and sort of easier for businesses to do their thing. And that obviously has proven to be a good thing for the economy over the past few years and for businesses. So that's fine. If the president does not get reelected and one of his opponents take office, particularly people like Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders, all have great ideas and good things they want to do, but certainly some of the things that they want to do with education and health care and the environment is going to be costly, and that could result in more regulations and taxes and things. Not that these are bad things, just these are certainly would present obstacles for businesses after the election. So I guess in summary, 2020 looks pretty good. Pretty easy year, I think, for a lot of small businesses relatively, but keep your eyes close on the election because depending on how it turns up, it could create a lot more challenges for us after this year.
We're talking with Gene Marks of the Marks Group. And Gene, you've also written on another important aspect because obviously the bottom line for most small businesses actually is the bottom line. And so you've written recently on some smarter accounting moves that businesses can make to better improve their cash flow. Explain what you're talking about there.
I wrote on a site called Striven. Striven, it's Striven. They do technology and like sort of all-in-one business software, and I've been writing some stuff for them to advise their clients on accounting moves to make, cash flow moves to make. You know, one of them about just making it easier for your customers to pay. I know a lot of business owners, it drives me nuts, Greg, and maybe this is another conversation for another day, when I go into businesses that, for example, don't accept your credit cards. They make you pay cash. So they have a minimum credit card requirement. And there are some accounting moves you can make if you get a better handle on your costs where you can accept credit cards, adjust pricing a little bit. And it's another conversation for another day. But in 2020, you have to be able to accept payments any way that your customers want to present them, whether it's credit cards, a mobile wallet, cash, e-coin for all of you Mr. Robot fans, anything like that. You can't be turning customers away in this competitive world because you refuse to accept a credit card for purchases under $10. I think it's nonsense, and I think that business owners are killing themselves cash-wise when they do that. I also think a lot of business owners need to do a better job at leveraging tax reform. There was some big changes that were made that impact a lot of us. A lot of people don't know that you can deduct up to $1 million in capital equipment purchases, and you don't even have to really pay for it. You can finance them. So, if you decide to buy a new car for your company, a truck or a piece of equipment or, pallets for your company, things like that, you can buy this kind of stuff and finance it where interest rates are still relatively low. And as long as you put it into service by the end of the year, you can take the full tax deduction for the full price of that capital equipment right away. Geez, taxes aren't a big deal, are they? They're only like 20 to 30% of our income. So capital equipment purchases is a big thing. Getting a handle on your retirement planning, putting as much money away for the 401k and for that kind of stuff is very, very important. And finally, you're talking about attracting good employees, Greg, in 2020. One of the things that just happened in Washington, and I just wrote about this in the Philadelphia Inquirer, was the passing of what's called the SECURE Act, SECURE. Just became live on January 1st of this year. And it's amazing because it was actually like a bipartisan bill in Washington, of all places. And it had some big changes to retirement plans that really benefit business owners and their employees. It allows older employees to keep contributing to their 401k plans now to the age of 72, which means that if you've got good older employees, they don't have to retire at the age of 70 and a half. They can keep going on and contributing. That's a good thing for both the employees and the business owners. In addition, it gives the business owners a tax credit for setting up a 401k plan. It gives business owners the ability to band together and negotiate better fees on the retirement plans. And if you don't have a 529 plan in your business, you got to get one. I mean, it's very inexpensive. It's an after-tax plan where you and your employees can put money away. It grows tax-free, and then you can take the money out to pay for higher education costs. And in this SECURE Act now, it expanded these 529 plans. You can take $10,000 out, each employee, and put it against their student loans which is really a big deal for a lot of people and could help you attract some younger employees. So talk to your tax accountant, talk to your benefits advisor. It's a great way to attract better employees this year if you take full advantage of the stuff that's in the Secure Act.
Gene, let's talk about some other things that business owners ought to be aware of for 2020 and beyond, because you closely follow emerging trends in the business world, whether it's emerging technologies or other innovations. What's on the horizon that has you excited and you think business owners ought to be aware of?
You hear a lot about artificial intelligence, Greg, and AI and bots and all that kind of stuff. I just want to get the message across that as a business owner, yes, you should be very excited about it, but no, you don't have to worry about it. A lot of people ask me like, I'm hearing about this AI. Should I be doing something? Should I be investing in it? I don't even know what to invest in. What does it mean? I can tell you this much. The software vendors that are out there, the Intuits and the Salesforce and Zoho and all those people that are out there making small business software, FreshBooks, they're worrying about artificial intelligence. They've got the money and they've got the expertise. They're building artificial intelligence and automation tools into their products. And what you need to do as a business owner is you need to ask your software vendor about the latest features in their products. What AI features do they have or are they working on? Learn what they are and leverage them. Because I'm telling you, a lot of these AI features, Greg, they can save you a lot of time. Why not? If a customer sends an email to your customer service department, can't a software bot look at that email, figure out what the customer is asking, and then provide an answer to them automatically without an employee being involved? Or why not, when an inventory level falls below a certain amount, can your software system just automatically reorder that inventory without a human being involved? There are lots of things that can be automated through AI that will save you time and money and cut your overhead. And I'm telling you, if you don't take advantage of this stuff, if you run away or you ignore it, you're going to hurt yourself because your competitors are going to be taking advantage of this type of technology. They'll be running more efficiently. They'll be able to price their products better, and they're the ones that might eat your lunch one day. So AI, artificial intelligence, very excited about it. Talk to your software vendors and learn to find out from them what they're doing with AI, and then employ it yourself. Embrace it.
We're talking with Gene Marks. And Gene, just about a minute or two left in our conversation here. And in addition to what you should be doing, there's also what you shouldn't be doing. You've recently written a column listing 20 different things that small business owners should not be doing for The Hartford. We don't have time for all of them, but what are you seeing most out there? What are some of the most common mistakes that do the most damage?
The biggest mistake that business owners make is trying to do too many things themselves. We live in an overcomplicated world. When I see a business owner doing their own payroll, for example, or their own accounting, or if I see them reviewing invoices or doing quality work themselves, your time is limited. You need to delegate. You need to outsource. You need to have experts do what they do so you can do what you do best. And if you don't do it otherwise, you might feel like you're saving a few dollars, but long term, you're hurting yourself. So focus on what you do best and look around at all the different things that you are doing and say to yourself, should I really be doing this? Probably not. Cough it up and pay for somebody to do it for you. They'll probably do a better job, and you focus on what you do best and grow your business that way.
Excellent advice and some great encouragement to head into the year. Gene, always great to have you with us. We look forward to the next time. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Greg.
Gene Marks, head of the Marks Group, speaker and writer. I'm Greg Corombos, and for more information on this topic, please call CT at 844-787-7782.
With 125 years of experience, CT is here to help you at every stage of the business life cycle.